That. What is up? What is up, Hardcore Nation? It's Hardcore Christopher here, and today, I. The, how can I put this? Um. Okay. So, for all of you that don't know who this guy is, I didn't know who he was until like a couple of days ago when Review Tech USA, who I am subscribed to, made a video on this guy. But let's, I wanted to do a reaction to his Elden Ring bad take, but Quantum TV has removed those videos. So I'm going to react to this, but I'm also going to be reacting to another YouTuber's video in this video after I get done reacting, just to see if Quantum TV even has a dog in this fight. That being Mischief, who I've never heard of until Review Tech USA mentioned him.
The link for those who want to get clarity about the maybe defamatory posts that you're seeing when you YouTube Quantum TV. So let's just go.
Okay. I am going to state this. This is the internet, where everybody can say anything about anybody, and it's no big deal. Look, I dealt with it at the beginning of this channel, where people were telling me that where people were telling me they didn't like my content. And you want to know what I did? I handled it in the worst way possible when I gave them their 15 minutes of fame. And I kept on doing that. You don't really see a problem with that until you realize, hey, I'm just giving you guys what you want, and that's time. Seriously, go look at my go look at some of my earliest videos.
Down the list. This started because I used the Content ID tool to use, flag, and identify more or less a YouTuber that was using a certain...
That's wrong, though. Okay, Quantum TV. Okay. Let's say that Mischief was using 100% of your content. Let's say he was doing that. No commentary, no nothing. He was just re-uploading it. You'd have a case. You would have a case, my friend. But you don't have a case in this fight. You don't have a case. You just don't. I'm sorry. You can say, oh, the things people say about me, they're so horrible. This is the internet. Do you expect people to be nice to you? People are going to call you out on everything. Seriously. Get over this. Just get over it. You know, the let it go, let it go. You know, that Disney song, Let It Go, where Elsa's singing about how how she's happy to be free and how she doesn't have to listen to anybody and doesn't can actually do do everything she wants. Get over this, man. Just get over it. Is that so hard?
Percentage of my content. I reached out via comments and told this YouTuber to take down the video and explain my reasons for doing so. Now, he doesn't understand this whole time he's been flagged with official timestamps by YouTube with the Content ID tool. He has officially been...
So what? If the video falls under fair use, it doesn't matter. You see, you can flag a video. I've never flagged a video because I've never had to. But you can flag a video. And YouTube will look at that video and be like, okay, you're right. This goes against our terms of service. This goes against this. This goes against that.
Does that include the joint you just blew in the bathroom?
So but as we're going to see after I get done reacting to this video, and I'm going to react to Mischief's video, you're going to see why Quantum TV doesn't do this. Don't get me wrong, he has the right to flag a video. I don't have a problem with that. But when you flag a video on account that somebody just is telling you what they think about your take, that's where I have a problem. Because you are abusing the copyright system. The copyright system wasn't made for this. It wasn't.
Flagged at that point. YouTube didn't take action at this point. Then, of course, after a while, he complied and he took the video down. So
he didn't take the video down because you forced him. He took the video down because he didn't want to deal with you or with the giant headache. You see, this is what Quantum TV doesn't seem to understand. He took it down. But then Mischief just re-uploads it because, well, what's the worst Quantum TV can do? Seek litigation? Dude, why is this such a big deal for you? Seriously, why? Tell me why. Tell me why. Tell me why this is such a big deal for you. Why? Seriously, it doesn't matter. I'm using your video right now, and you're probably, and I swear that if you comment on this video, which I don't think you will, because I don't think you're ever going to see it. But if you do, you're probably going to do what you did to Rich from Review Tech USA, and that's be like, I'm going to be considering my actions. Actions for what? There's only one reason why you would consider action, and that is legal action. But wait a minute. I think I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's continue on.
All the other banter in between is irrelevant to me. So I retract. Then he runs to other YouTubers and says this bigger YouTuber is attacking him.
Mischief. Quantum TV is threatening to illegally copyright strike my video, calling him out for spreading false information had to private the video because I'm not trying to deal with another born to game situation. This guy desperately needs to learn basic research, except a video on this. Oh, expect a video on this. Look! I'm starting to get riled up. Hold on. Let's see what else this idiot has to say.
Bullying me. To which they jump.
Oh, they're bullying me. No, Mischief had a case and you didn't. For crying out loud. Mischief did. Seriously, and I haven't watched his video yet. All he did was take your video, comment over it, and basically tell you that your take on Elden Ring was bad. Look, this is coming from a guy who this is coming from me, Hardcore Christopher. This is coming from a man who has played a lot of video games. And I've never touched the Souls series. I've never touched Demon Souls. I've never touched Elden Ring. I've never touched Bloodborne. I've never touched Dark Souls, Dark Souls 1, Dark Souls, Dark Souls 2, and Dark Souls 3. I've never touched them. This isn't about a video game. No matter how much you want to spin the narrative. This is about you and your actions, Quantum. Quantum TV. Everyone.
On the bandwagon defending him because they do the same kind of behavior he does of
no, they don't.
Downloading and re-uploading people's videos.
Okay. This is the brunt of his argument and stating the fact that what these YouTubers don't do, what these YouTubers do doesn't fall under fair use. It most certainly does. But he's making it sound like that he's the victim. Where's the tweet? When Mischief tweeted this or commented this. I think it's a comment. When Mischief typed this out, Quantum TV knew he was screwed because Mischief had every single right to do a transformative video, to comment over your video, Quantum. He had every right. But you decide, oh, he doesn't like my take? Well, screw you. Fly your video. That doesn't fly. And let me tell you something. You're burying your own career, man. You are burying your own career.
YouTuber is attacking and bullying me, to which they jump on the bandwagon defending him because they do the same kind of behavior he does of downloading and re-uploading people's videos. They talk over it, they call it transformative, but they don't keep in mind that the Content ID tool will identify infringing.
Yeah, Content ID tool will prove that what they're doing doesn't fall under copyright. Is what I'm doing right now transformative? I mean, yes, I'm using the whole video, but I'm also pausing it to give you my thoughts. Which my thoughts are this. Quantum TV is playing the victim when he has no right to. Let's continue.
Content, and then warn people in the matching tool on YouTube Studio Creator. They called me a false copyright flagger, and that's how this thing just started off. See,
That's because you are. You have no idea what copyright is, apparently. You just don't get it. You don't get it.
That didn't damage my reputation enough, and they didn't get the desired results. They then decided to take it a step further with their retaliation by digging on Twitter, Facebook, and all social medias, going full on.
Yeah, that's because, well, what you say on your social platforms reflects you and reflects the brand you make. So let's say, which by the way, you can't find any of his tweets, you can't find his Facebook page because he deleted them. He deleted them. Okay. All right. When you say that the LGBTQ community,
we proudly celebrate Women's History Month because women's history is everyone's history.
when you say that they should die, that's an issue. And apparently you don't see a problem with it. But everybody else does. You don't have the right to wish death upon other people. Let me clue you in on a little something. Just let me clue you in on something. Your words that everybody sees, you think that, well, if I delete the tweet, it's gone. Or if I delete the post on Facebook, it's gone. No. Trust me, I've learned the hard way. Once you put something on the internet, it is there, and it is there for good.
Stalker mode. After that failed, essentially, because they couldn't find anything recent, they then stuck to the old stuff that they found, not realizing that I've been hacked in the past, and it...
Yeah, he's gonna blame this on hackers. I've been hacked three different times. Okay, so you're telling me that your Twitter was hacked on three separate occasions and wrote all these mean tweets, or that your Facebook page was hacked and they wrote all those mean posts. I don't believe that for a second. Let me put it like this. I'll believe Quantum TV when pigs grow wings and fly. And that'll never happen. So I have no reason. So I'll never believe Quantum TV.
Was a massive compromise back in 2018. I had to then install moderators to help me manage my social media presence because, unfortunately, I'm a bit dense when it comes to social media. I just don't understand it the way some people do. Outside of putting out a DM or uploading YouTube videos, I really don't understand how many of the platforms work. So I still to this day have moderators on Discord. And I say that because upon seeing this information be broadcast live on their live streams, trying to shame or defame me, I took swift...
Which, by the way, that does fall under fair use, Quantum. That does. Just because your content shows up on a person's live stream does not mean it doesn't fall under fair use.
Action because it doesn't represent Quantum TV brand. So Twitter has been deleted. I saw posts that the moderators have been posting on Facebook that don't represent the Quantum TV brand. Again, in a similar fashion, I'm quite dense. I don't know how these things work, so I deleted the Facebook. Because at the end of the day, I don't know how to do much of the back end stuff that I trusted these people to do. All I know how to do is some of the admin level things. Now, once that was said and done, that left my website, which of course I trusted the same moderator to do the same thing. And guess what happened? You guessed it. Now the post gets deleted because, again, they're saying things that don't represent the Quantum TV brand. That's just what happens in this business. You trust people, you trust brand ambassadors. Sometimes they step out of line. It is a
That's what happens in this business. You trust brand ambassadors, and sometimes they step out of line. Okay, let's take that theory for a second. The same guy that monitored his Twitter, the same guy that monitored his Facebook, and the same guy that monitored his website. What? Did he step out of line all of that time? So what'd you do, Quantum? Did you fire him?
natural course of business. That does not mean that that has anything to do with me, and it doesn't. And I completely disavow all statements and posts made by those individuals. Now, what I can say is also this. When you see out of context videos, it's always important to reach out. Or when you're receiving a complaint about something, it is always important to reach out.
Okay, here's the thing. Why would anybody want to reach out to you? You're going to play the Here's the thing. You're going to play the victim card, and you're going to stretch that and stretch that and stretch that. Especially when a video falls under fair use. Let me put it like this. Everybody has more than likely read The Boy Who Cried Wolf. If you haven't read the story, in the story there's a wolf, there's a boy, and there's a flock of sheep. The boy is in charge of watching over the sheep and just sorry, I had to take a deep breath. I was losing my train of thought. Okay. There's a boy, there's a wolf, there's townspeople, there's a flock of sheep. Now the boy is in charge of watching over the sheep. He's also in charge of watching out for wolf. He got bored. The boy got bored. So he decides to cry, "Wolf! Wolf! There's a wolf!" And the townspeople hear it. They come running. The boy says, "There's no wolf." The townspeople go back to whatever they're doing. The boy gets bored again. "Wolf! Wolf! There's a wolf!" Townspeople stop what they're doing. They run back up. And they go back down because there wasn't a wolf. The boy does this so many times that once a wolf appears, the boy cries, "Wolf! Wolf! There's a wolf!" And not a single townsperson comes. And you want to know why? It's because they thought, because they went up so many times and that there was no wolf, that the boy was just pulling their leg, yanking their chain. How many times are you going to cry wolf and people are actually going to believe you?
To gain clarity and insight, because if you just run with one side of a story, you will never know any of this information. And I've gotten tons of comments about how I'm bigoted and how I'm a hater, how I don't know how fair.
That's because you are. You're a bigot and you're a hater. There's nothing wrong with being those things. Just own up to them. Just own up to them.
Use works. I'm a copyright flagger. I'm a bully. I attack.
That's because you are. That's because you don't know how fair use works. That's because you don't know how, obviously, the YouTube copyright system works. Otherwise, you wouldn't be abusing it.
Young children, like all this stuff, and it's completely because these YouTubers are weaponizing the platform and their mass cyberbullying attack because of the initial reason here.
But here's the thing. You have said in your videos that you do false flag people, but you always turn it back to Elden Ring, when this has nothing to do with a video game. This goes far beyond a video game.
I use the Content ID tool to analyze who was doing what. So here, let me show you this. This video has been removed because of the same exact reasons all of you are using. It's not that I can't remove your videos. Make that very clear. I'll make that very clear.
Who died and made you God? It's not because I can't remove your videos. Let me make that perfectly clear. This, look, hold on.
Choose not to because it's not a big deal to me. You guys make a big deal.
If it's not a big deal to you, then why do you flag people's videos? You keep on saying it's not a big deal, but your actions speak louder than your words. Your actions, they speak louder than your words. You could say all day long, you could say it until you're blue in the face, that it's not a big deal. But when you flag people and when you go into their comment section and say, now I'm considering my options, it's obviously a big deal to you.
And you do all this hullabaloo, but the reality is this is nothing to me. I am focusing on HDR settings.
Except it is.
Or the LGC1. The game optimizer ones, by the way, for my members out there who have been asking. And we're looking further into the future towards things like, I don't know, the brand new televisions coming out. One that really catches my eye is the Samsung S95B. This is the bread and butter of my content. This is what I do here. I am a TV.
But when you give bad takes on anything, when people watch your video and be like, well, this guy obviously doesn't know what he's talking about, and then they go to their channel and they upload a video stating just that, guess what? And you get mad over it, it's a big deal. Accept it and move on.
Expert. I am a master TV calibrator, and I provide a service for people who want affordable settings that blow your mind, and I pioneer the next level of television as far as how we view it by breaking away from the 30-year-old reference standards that don't look good on today's devices and panels. So when you're seeing them take things out of context, like in Elden Ring, for example, when they claim that I say, go kill yourself, Elden Ring players.
You did! You did! You said, go kill yourself. But then you had the audacity to say that, oh, when I said that, I meant in the game. That's what you're supposed to do. If you meant that, you would have said, go kill yourself in Elden Ring as many times as you want to. You didn't do that. You said, go kill yourself. Not in the game, in real life. That is despicable.
They're not telling you the full story because the game is an endless death loop. And when I'm telling you, you know what?
So are all the Souls games. But you want to know something? There are people that like that challenge. I'm not one of them, but there is that fan base out there that have played Demon Souls, Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 3, Bloodborne, Elden Ring. There are those people that like that type of challenge, and if they have to die 100 times over, they will. But if you don't like it, guess what? You don't like it. But that doesn't give you the right to go and kill you. To tell somebody to go and kill yourself. That doesn't give you the right.
If that's what you want to do, basically, go do that. You know, it's pretty pathetic because I wasn't aware that it had to be so extremely detailed that I had to say, go digitally kill yourself for that to be what your message was. And your arm.
Here's the thing. You could have said it 100 different ways. Go kill. You could have said, have your character go kill itself. Have your Elden Ring character go kill itself 100 times over because that's all this game is. It's a tedious grind. You could have said, you know, this one boss that I'm having trouble with, why don't you go kill yourself on that boss so many times that you throw your controller through your television? But you said, go kill yourself. That's what you said.
Must really be tired from all of the reaching that you've been doing. Trust me, I know. But the reality is this. Elden Ring is a death loop, and I didn't want to do it. I don't have a high opinion of the game, and I don't have this feeling that...
And that's your opinion. That is your opinion, and you are entitled to it. Like everybody has their opinions, and they are entitled to them. My opinion is Elden Ring looks cool. Even though I've never played it, I've watched others play it, and they seem to be having a good time. But for me, all the dying you have to do is tedious, yes, but it's so darn rewarding when you get somewhere.
The sole purpose of the game is to die and gain a sense of pride and accomplishment, like many of you have argued.
No, the entire purpose of a video game is to have fun.
You know, the same points that you're arguing are the same points that I'm arguing, but magically, you're taking what I say out of context. I'm not surprised, because if you look at all their channels, that's how they feed themselves. It's about drama. It's about the negative thing for the sake of saying something horrible.
They don't have to dig that much. They really don't. All they have to do is watch your videos and see what you said. They don't have to reach that much, man.
To stoke a troll army. That's what's terrible about internet content providers and anything in general. Like anybody on the...
Okay, then if it's so bad, Why are you on here? Seriously, why? To promote your brand?
YouTube platform or any platform in general that can say something, you can say stuff that isn't necessarily true. We've seen it time and time again, and this is no different. And when you have bold opinions like don't buy an LG OLED,
Results that last. I've lost 70 pounds, 58 pounds, 22 pounds, 128 pounds.
Wait, what?
that can say something, you can say stuff that isn't necessarily true. We've seen it time and time again, and this is no different. And when you have bold opinions like don't buy an LG,
You are going to feel amazing.
Your bold opinion of the gay community is that they should all die. Your bold opinion of which, don't get me wrong, I have nothing against the gay community. I'll be the first to say that I like a gay person. I don't agree with their lifestyle, but it's like this. I may not agree with their lifestyle, but that doesn't give me the right to say, hey, because you're gay, you're going to hell. That doesn't give me the right to say. It doesn't. We all, like I said in my Scott Hall video, we all have a date with death, and we're all going to keep it. We are all going to keep our date with death. But you said that you said that you wish that they would die.
OLED. Xbox is trash in some areas. PS5 is trash in some areas. Elden Ring is a garbage-ass game. Don't buy it. Those are bold opinions, and people take protest to it when they are fans of a series or fans of a brand.
Yes, they do. But you keep bringing this back to a video game, and it has nothing to do with a video game. This goes far beyond a video game.
Or even diehard fans. You're going to offend them, you're going to hurt their feelings, you're going to really make them angry, and they're going to do everything they can to make you look like the clown because you said something that felt like a personal attack. At which point I will tell you these are just my opinions and my findings. None of the statements I make about products are actually personal. Now, they did take some offense to the fact that I said that the only people that have time to sink hundreds of hours into the game are people with no lives and no fans.
No. How would there are a lot of Souls people. There are a lot of Souls fans. There are a lot of Bloodborne fans. You know, there's a lot of video game franchise fans that more than likely go to work, have their life, then come home and play a video game to relax. Trust me, I did it when I was working.
Families and no friends, but I mean, again, all taken out of context, because if you listen very carefully, I said those things because you're spending upwards of hundreds of hours in a video game, dying 1,000,001 times just to achieve.
It's more than dying. It's more than dying over and over and over and over and over again. You keep bringing this back to a video game. Wake up to the fact that you started this, and wake up to the fact that this isn't about a video game. It started with a video game, and it should have ended with a video game, but it didn't end with a video game. It didn't. Let's finish this out. That way we can Go to Mischief's video.
One level of satisfaction that is not replayable. I'll say this to all the Elden Ring fans who got their feelings hurt by those statements.
And there would be thousands of people, probably millions of people, that would disagree with you. They find very good replayability in the fact that you can play Elden Ring, that you can play Bloodborne, that you can play Demon Souls, Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 3, any way you want to. Endless possibilities at their fingertips. That's what they would disagree with you on.
A game that cannot be considered good with a difficulty toggle is a game that has no business being called good without it.
Okay, I do agree that if the Souls games are too hard, there should be an easier difficulty. But in all honesty, the Souls games weren't made that way, and they weren't made that way for a reason.
That is as simple as I will sum up the Elden Ring community and situation. Now, if you disagree...
You made this all about a video game. You stated that this was all about a video game, when it wasn't.
Have fun with your game. I'm moving on.
And let me...
Big appetite, little flash, and lots of introspection. Living in the big quit.
And let me say this. You are more than likely not going to move on. Now, that we watched Quantum TV's video, let's...
You have a cell phone, which you should hide where prisoners of war hid their watches.
Where was that?
Moving on. I pre-programmed the phone. Speed dial 1 is me, speed dial 2 is the nurse's office, and speed dial 3 is the police.
The police? What for?
You'll know it when it happens. Now, about race rapid, try not to take sides. Anybody else?
Let's watch Mischief's video.
Now before this video, the channel by the name of Quantum TV, the main focus of my video will try to illegally copyright strike this video via claiming it is not fair use, as he attempted a few days ago. That is total nonsense, and if anyone wants proof of that, the video is enough in and of itself, but I also uploaded 2 hours ago a video proving its fair use with case study research to prove it, along with sightings from the UK government website also proving it. For those of you just watching this video, here's the UK government's website's page regarding fair use, or fair dealing as it's named in the UK.
Okay, from everything that I'm seeing right now, this video is following. This video is under fair use.
Surprisingly, essentially blatantly describes the video as being fair use. So without further delay, I'll let the fun begin. There is a decent amount of things you could legitimately criticize Elden Ring for, whether it be the bad performance across most PCs due to real-time shader compilation issues that cause frame timing stuttering no matter what settings you set the game to, or the terrible settings menus, like I did in my review for the game, where I myself couldn't recommend the game based on the insane amount of performance issues I encountered on a system with an RTX 3070 and a Ryzen 9 5900X. However, the video we will be looking at today doesn't criticize the game for any of that in its majority, but instead goes down the illegitimate criticisms of Souls-like games route, via flat-out spreading false information repeatedly about the game, and all around being
This is fair use.
incredibly misinformed when it comes to Elden Ring, because it's too hard and easy mode. No matter what it is, if a game even remotely challenges someone, you will end up finding people like the guy we'll be looking at today crying about it because God forbid a modern AAA title doesn't baby you through everything. So without further delay, let's get into this insanely bad critique of Elden Ring.
So, today I'll be giving you guys a review of Elden Ring. No spoilers and none of that other nonsense, and we're going to get straight to the point. Essentially, don't buy.
Now, Quantum TV would say that this doesn't fall under fair use. How does Mischief circumvent this? Let's find out.
By this game? That's the easy answer. Now, if you want the long answer, stay until the end and you will find out. Essentially, in a nutshell, though, the name of
Or get the best in pests. You're still paying me for this. Just relax. Come on, first aid.
the game should not be called Elden Ring. The name of the game should be called You Died. Funny, right?
You know what? I genuinely believe we have finally found the peak of
Okay. First off, that wasn't funny. Second off, all the Souls games are like this. You die many times. Obviously, Quantum TV has never played a Souls game in his life.
comedy. I have never laughed harder at a single joke in my entire life.
By the way, this falls under fair use. It does. It is true that Mischief used portions, well, the beginning portion of Quantum TV's video, but he's doing it in a transformative fashion.
Jimmy Carr and Dave Chappelle have forgot absolutely nothing on this man. Comedy will never be the same after hearing that brilliant piece of comedy. But in all seriousness, what the actual fuck did you expect to do when playing a From Software game? A studio notorious for the difficulty of their titles. I refuse to believe you hadn't heard of titles like
Exactly.
Dark Souls and Sekiro Shadow Dice twice before buying Elden Ring. Sure, if you were dying in Elden Ring due to bugs and actual issues with the game, then I could understand you complaining about it. However, that isn't the reasoning behind it based on what you say later on. You are just bad at the game and refuse to try and get better, wanting the game to baby you instead.
Again and again and again. Because that's all you're really going to spend most of your time doing. You're going to die because the game has no easy difficulty.
Wrong.
That is absolutely
Wrong.
proved over and over again.
Wrong. How the hell has my man not seen the...
This is all fair use. I'm gonna call it now. I've only made it 3 minutes, 15 seconds in, but I'm gonna say that this is all fair use. Am I missing something here?
Shit tons of memes about how easy magic makes this game. If you are lazy and do not want to spend time to get good at this game, then just go fucking make a magic build. It's not rocket science. This is a well-known staple of From Software games. All of them, with the exception of Sekiro, have some form of what you would consider an easy mode, aka magic. You're just not explicitly told it's an easy mode, and I must apologize over the fact you need to figure out how to make the game easier instead of the game babying you through literally every single aspect. If you want a video game which does baby you through every single minute detail, then just go play a PlayStation exclusive or a Gears of War title, not a From Software title, because let's be honest here, that's exactly what you're really complaining, mainly due to the fact you have no idea what you're talking about, which you prove relentlessly throughout this video of yours.
And frankly, is extremely hard.
Okay.
Excuse me, there's a line. Yeah, it's got a couple things.
There was something I was gonna say, but
Really based on quantity of items.
my thought has left. So it'll come back.
And Bandai Namco likes to do this a lot and a lot.
He said Bandai.
Just playing by the rules.
Okay.
Would it be nice if everybody did the same? Hang on this one.
Bandai Namco is it's From Software. How do you mix From Software with Bandai Namco? I will never know.
A lot of their games where they make it just insanely difficult. And
I find a lot of Bandai Namco games easy. Even the Pac-Man game games.
the difficulty spikes when you get to certain bosses. It's so unfair that you'll find yourself spending so many hours losing time away from your life.
Again, that isn't necessarily true. All you have to do to make bosses easier is a very
This is fair use. This is fair use as fair use can get.
common trope in all open world games, and it's called go out and explore the map, then come back stronger and at the appropriate level to fight said boss. I have the feeling the boss he's on about here is either Radahn or Margit, since those are the two bosses with major recommended level gaps from the last boss. You aren't meant to go straight to Margit, and this is something I think was a mistake from Software's part, because as soon as I left the opening area, I realized a significant amount of people would frankly be way too stupid to realize you aren't meant to go and find him straight away. Radahn has the same quote-unquote issue as I beat the previous boss.
Please don't leave me.
You're okay. Just don't make eye contact.
Boss at level 55. However, if you simply do basic research, aka one Google search, you'll realize enemies do have recommended levels, and so do areas of the map. They are merely just hidden to increase difficulty. And Radahn, for example, should be fought around level 70 to level 80. So the main issue you're having here isn't a problem with the game, but again, a problem with you.
So I would say
I can't find a flaw in Mischief's arguments. And I don't see the issue I don't see the issue of fair use. There's not an issue here. This is fair use.
this game is for somebody who really is looking for a sandbox. They have no family, no friends, no life, and they have literally thousands of hours.
That's rude. What Quantum TV just said there, that is rude and that is hateful, sir.
To grind away on a game to level up enough so that they don't end up losing.
I can straight up taste the salt pouring through my screen listening to this guy mold over a game, requiring him to literally just get good. All it requires is the exact same thing as every open world game. Go out and explore before trying to take on a difficult boss. It obviously doesn't take thousands of hours to beat the game. That would be more than multiple playthroughs, my guy. I mean, holy shit, wait until this guy finds out another amazing feature in the game that makes it significantly easier. Co-op. Like, holy shit. It's almost like having a magic build and playing with friends would give you an easy mode. Now think about that for a second. The guy so salty over dying in a video game where it's designed for you to die a lot is telling people who play it they have no life or friends, when the second main reason he's struggling is because he isn't playing with friends.
Because I tell you one thing about this game that's not really a spoiler, but something you should know.
That is true. From all the Elden Ring videos I've watched, having somebody to help you does boost your odds of beating a boss.
You die, you lose everything you collected.
We didn't wander under the bleachers during lunch hour.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. You die and you lose everything that you gained, but it's all from the last save point. Which means all you have to do is go back and get the stuff that you lost. That's not too hard.
Everything. That means you start over. So leveling up is extremely hard because of the nature of the game and its
But it's not.
difficulty level, and it's not fun. There's nothing fun about this game for somebody who is new to the franchise.
Mr. Madison, what you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
As someone who myself is essentially brand new to the...
Okay, that clip's funny.
the Souls franchise via Elden Ring, outside of playing a Souls game once or twice for very short increments, I can tell you right now you're flat out wrong. I fucking love Elden Ring, and making blanket statements like you just did is beyond delusional. Not only that everything you just said was quite literally factually incorrect, you do not lose everything when you die. What does happen is you only drop your runes, the item used for leveling up, which then can be picked up at the location you died upon respawn. You also do
Exactly. Wait, that means I was also wrong too. Thank you for correcting me, Mischief.
not drop anything else when you die. No weapons are dropped, no armor is dropped, no materials are dropped, nothing is dropped apart from the runes, and they only disappear if you die again before picking them up, something that I've found is very hard to do. It is harder to not pick up runes before dying again, even in a boss arena, than dying to the boss. But as per usual with this video in particular, it's filled with what can only be determined as factually incorrect information.
I think if you're somebody who played something like Dark Souls before, you probably would like it. But if you're somebody new, the menu is cluttered. It's really hard to read, and it's not user interface friendly. And then the controls, and then all of this is just clunky. The whole game feels like a clunker, right?
I'm going to now ask you to do something so insanely difficult a Navy SEAL couldn't even do it. If you do not like the default controls, open your fucking settings and change them. There is both full key binding customization.
Yeah, you can bind the controls. If you let's say crouch is set to A. If you don't like crouch being on A, you can rebind it to, let's say, RT.
Full controller plus keyboard and mouse in this game. The only reason for you to not like the controls is because you didn't make them how you wanted them. Also, the menus outside of the settings for PC are perfectly fine. In fact, they're better than perfectly fine. Since they are not at all cluttered like you are wrongfully claiming, they are all segmented into various categories so people like you can easily find what you're actually looking for. And not only that, the UI is entirely simple to grasp, especially in comparison to other over-cluttered titles like every single open-world Ubisoft game.
And then you look at the graphic style. It's a joke. It is literally a joke. It is like last gen being sold for new gen.
It's almost like the last thing that matters in a Souls-like is how pretty the grass is.
I'm not looking at how pretty the grass is when I'm playing a game. I mean, yes, the graphics from gen to gen can look identical. However, when I went from the original Xbox 360 to the to the Xbox One, there was a big difference, and I liked it. However, I can also make this assumption because I liked it. When I went from the original Xbox 360, everyone remembers the white Xbox 360, the launch Xbox 360, which I ruined because I got mad at games and started pounding on it, and then I kind of broke it. So I understand anger when it comes to games. I understand anger when it comes to games, even when it's misplaced, because that's a lot of it. Back in the day, I would get very frustrated and just start going nuts. I cannot tell you how many times I died to Cell in Dragon Ball Z Budokai, or Frieza in Dragon Ball Z Budokai, and lost my ever-loving mind.
Yeah, but that pain passes
But when I went from the launch Xbox 360 to the Xbox 360 Slim version, there was a big difference in my opinion.
Elden Ring has without failure outclassed most AAA titles released recently in terms of how beautiful it is. Sure, it doesn't have peach fuzz rendering like Horizon Forbidden West, which I'm sure you love since it is an incredibly easy game, but it has infinitely better art style. Graphics do not matter in the vast majority of titles. Elden Ring is the perfect case in point of that. Its art style and gameplay carry it higher than the 4K truth textures ever could in Forbidden West.
And Digital Foundry did a full breakdown, kind of confirming everything I already knew playing the game, and most of us already knew playing the game, that the game's frame rates are trash. Like, you pay so much money for these consoles.
Weird. All the Elden Ring videos that I have watched, they don't have a single frame rate issue.
Next-gen consoles just to get scammed. I mean, who here is sick and tired of 4K 30? I know I am. We could have kept PS4 Pro and Xbox Series S for that.
Neither the PS4 Pro nor Xbox One X are actually capable of 4K 30 FPS in even most last-gen games. The PS5, for example, is not powerful enough to run most AAA games at 4K 60 FPS. It is equivalent to around a 2060, and the Series X is around equivalent to in between a 20...
I'm gonna have to take Mischief's word for this because I have no idea what he's talking about right now. Tech Talk completely flies over my head.
60 and 2070. Neither of those cards are capable of 4K 60 FPS in most AAA games. If you are expecting Elden Ring to run at 4K 60 FPS, you are flat out a fucking moron. Even though it doesn't necessarily have the most impressive graphics, and even without the real-time shaded compilation issues regarding frame time stuttering, consoles would struggle to maintain 60 FPS at 4K. This idea a hell of a lot of console players have that the current gen systems are capable of native 4K at 60 FPS for games like Elden Ring and especially other open world games like Dying Light 2 is one made up from nothing but pure delusion. Like, how are you going to bring up Digital Foundry's video and the main takeaway you have is that the game is bad because it runs at 4K 60 FPS, not bringing up the issues regarding frame time stuttering, but just complaining that a system frankly incapable of 4K 60 FPS in most open world games like Elden Ring doesn't run at a frame rate and resolution it cannot sustain. That is not at all a legitimate critique. A legitimate critique would be talking about the frame stuttering, which you barely do and not to a remotely decent extent since you clearly do not understand the reasoning behind it and have no idea what you're talking about.
Especially with a 1440p resolution and things that go lower. We're not getting the top tier graphics. And they're not even trying
This also falls under fair use.
These developers are coming out with these games and they're just slapping PS5 and Xbox Series X on the box without ever even attempting to tap into the power. And again, without any requirement to do so, to call themselves a multi-plat for that system, it's just the same thing. And what's even worse, the most egregious crime, is that even on PC, this game runs poorly.
Although I personally don't recommend people buy this on PC myself if they don't have a powerful system, it does not run as poorly as you described outside of the opening area. It is
Mischief's right. That's all I can say.
primarily in the opening area where frame time stuttering is a major problem, and this is something when making my review I hadn't realized yet, and so didn't mention it in that. Outside of the odd frame drops here and there, I haven't experienced huge problems. The weird part about Elden Ring is the fact that the real-time shader compilation issues mainly affect the opening area, and actually become less of an issue the further you get through the game, something that may have been caused by From Software prioritizing trying to optimize the more demanding parts of the game for launch and leaving the opening area in the state it is. On consoles, the frame rate tends to remain above 50 FPS at the very least, which is more than fine. However, if you're like me and can notice that drop, run the PS4 version on PS5 and turn on variable refresh rate for the Xbox Series X to get a stable 60 FPS on current gen systems. What you were talking about in regards to the console ports are things which have an easy fix to use whilst we wait for From Software to correct the real-time shader compilation related frame time stuttering, at least if you're not on PC. That currently isn't a fix for the PC version.
Only way that you can get this game to look really good, as Digital Foundry so gently pointed out, was using PS4. I'll say that again, PS4 on the PS5. Why would I do that?
To solve the issues you're crying about for the time being whilst you wait for a patch, which will fix said it.
Why would I do that? To fix the things you're crying about.
Shoot, the fact I had to explain something so simple to you would be surprising if I hadn't watched the previous parts of the video and knew your history on YouTube. The PS5 version also doesn't often drop below 50 FPS, so again it is a major issue on consoles. On PC, however, it definitely is, and I can agree with you in regards to that specifically, and only that specifically.
Like, I don't understand, like, who they made this game for, where, like, you want low frame rates, but that for me, that's a massive deal breaker. I have a massive motion buff, and to do something like that is unacceptable.
Then you take into consideration the fact that, again, most of your time in the open world is spent just like running around kind of aimlessly, if I'm being honest. It's one of those games where like it's so spread out, the map is so big, you're going to spend a lot of time running around.
So like every single open world game ever made. If you don't...
Yep, I have played I wouldn't say a lot of open world games. I mean, well, wait. My Spider-Man 2 was open world. I've played my fair share of open world games, and it does feel like you're running aimlessly sometimes.
Like open world games and you don't like Souls-esque titles, then why the fuck did you buy Elden Ring? Obviously you wouldn't like...
Exactly, Mischief. Thank you very much.
It doesn't take a genius to figure that out. At this point, you're again not only flat out lying about the open world, but also just complaining that an open world game acts like an open world game when it comes to the fact it wants you to explore the open world. The opening area of the game, aka Limegrave, in and of itself has 35 bosses. Saying you spend most of your time traveling is beyond disingenuous. At most, you spend like 5 to 10 minutes going around each area of the map and unlocking all the sides of grace, which you use to fast travel. Outside of that, the map is littered with dungeons, hence the opening area having 35 boss fights. This is an incredibly content-rich game, and to claim otherwise is just straight up lying to your audience.
I guess the initial point of this video is to say that, like, unless you are somebody who wants a severe challenge, I mean, you're the kind of person, you like dying 500 times in a row, and you like restarting and literally losing everything and going back to a save point, starting from scratch.
Again, that is not what fucking happens when you die. The levels of misinformation...
I just like having fun. Having fun when I play a video game. Who would have thought?
Throughout your video here is flat out so ridiculous to the point of having to question if you ever played the game or not. It directly marks the location on the map where you previously died, so that you can pick up the runes you dropped. And once again, you only drop the amount of runes you have on your person when you die. You do not, as you claim, lose everything.
If you like that kind of thing, Elden Ring is your game. If you don't like dying again and again and again and again and again, don't buy this game. If you get frustrated very easily, or you come home from work and you're just trying to unwind and relax, this is not a game for you.
No shit. What else?
Exactly. No. This video falls under fair use. Mischief's other video falls under fair use. What's the big deal about this?
What you exactly expecting from a studio that literally only makes the exact type of game you are describing? And once again, these strange blanket statements are so idiotic, it's truly unbelievable. I personally can realize whilst playing Elden Ring. Wanna know why? Because I'm not a man-child who gets upset over dying in a video game where death is a common occurrence.
Oh, I don't mean to laugh. I'm sorry, but Mischief calling. Whoops. Come on, rotate, please. Please, thank you. But calling Quantum TV a man-child sums him up pretty nicely.
Because I chose to play a quote-unquote difficult game.
Again, I couldn't speak lowly enough about this game. I don't recommend it. And I think if you're smart, you'll just play something else. That's the review. Take it or leave it.
I mean, when it comes to who should be talking about people's intelligence here, I love to be the one to tell you this, but it sure as hell shouldn't be someone who has consistently gotten that information inside that fully edited video factually incorrect. Now, I think it...
Yeah. Get him, Mischief.
Safe to say that has to be single-handedly the worst video we've taken a look at on this channel in a very long time. And I'll probably look at a second part of the video live sometime this week, although don't expect a response to that in video format, as I can't be asked to lose any more brain cells. But thankfully we have finally come to the end of that video, which means we have also come to the end of my video. So with all that being said, please do not forget to do all the things YouTubers love to beg you to do, aka check out my Discord server, my Twitter, as well as like, comment, and subscribe. So I will see you all in the next video.
Alright guys, that was me looking at the Quantum TV situation where I reacted to Quantum TV's video, then reacted to Mischief's video, and I'm going to say what I said at the beginning of Mischief's video. That all fell under fair use. So, I'm Hardcore Christopher. Keep it hardcore, everyone.